Hello friends, welcome to LaExcellence mains answer writing session. Friends, today we will be discussing a question that was posted on our portal on 3rd of December. So on 3rd of December, we had posted a question regarding National Judicial Appointments Commission Act 2014. And the question read like this: critically examine the Supreme Court's judgment on National Judicial Appointments Commission Act 2014 with reference to appointment of judges of higher judiciary in India. You had to write this in 150 words, carrying 10 marks. So friends, please remember those 5 bullet points that I have said you. Dissect the question properly, build up the scenario, add value to your questions by citing case studies, examples, statistics, and then conclude on an optimistic note. So we'll be moving forward with the answer, a sample answer for this question. In the introduction part, you had to mention about the importance of judiciary and how judiciary plays a crucial role. And then you had to mention something about NJAC. You had to gradually move down from judiciary to the NJAC. So here, as you can see, we have mentioned about the 99th Constitutional Amendment Act, which undertook the process of appointment of judges to higher judiciary in India. And friends, just for your information, I am here mentioning why NJAC was scrapped by Supreme Court. Though it was passed by the Parliament, it was scrapped by Supreme Court, saying that the primacy of judiciary and the right to appoint judges is a form of basic structure of constitution which cannot be altered by the Parliament. So this was a significant judgment where they said that this primacy of judiciary is the basic structure of constitution, and they scrapped it all over. But this has created a debate. So friends, moving on with the answer. Here, as you know, that in NJAC, they had a provision where they would be having 6 members. 3 members would be from the Supreme Court, headed by Chief Justice of India, and 3 from government. One among them will be the Law Minister, and 2 eminent persons will be included in the NJAC Appointments Committee. So this is what was opposed by judiciary. And then you had to move forward with critically examine. See, the question has asked you about critically examine, so you had to focus on both the positive aspect and the cons aspect of that. So friends, you had to post your answers in favor as well as against the argument. So as you say that here we are mentioning about favoring the Supreme Court's judgment. Here, as you can see, that this is against judicial independence. The executive involving itself in judicial appointments would be seen as violating the basic structure of judicial independence. Then further, we had Law Minister on the panel, which would lead to conflict of interest. And then, so you could also provide some of the background for these cases, like the second judge's case, 1993. You could mention that. You could also mention Article 124 and 217, and how this debate arose because when Supreme Court in 1993, interpreted the word consultation in different ways, and because of this multiple interpretation, it led to various analysis. So friends, this was about in favor of Supreme Court's judgment. And then you had to, since it was asking you for critically analyzing, you had to also mention something against the argument. So here, as you can see, now since we have moved back to the squadron where we will be moving with that old collegium system where judiciary will be appointing its own members, so there is a chance that judiciary will be not hold accountable for their own actions. So here, a case of judicial overreach is created where judiciary will be taking decisions for its meeting its own ends, which is perhaps slightly against our constitutional principles. And then the doctrine of severability, where we are saying that that whole act did not have been scrapped, but only the few sections of that act should have been refined, like sections 5 and section 66 of the act. So friends, here you had to mention about why Supreme Court going back to the collegium system is rather going against some of our constitutional principles. So here you had to write both in pros and cons of the argument, and then you had to finally conclude. So please make sure that you conclude on an optimistic note. Okay, if you criticize constructively. to not be very blunt against the government or against the judiciary in this particular question. So you had to maintain a very fine line between that. So here, as we have said, that a memorandum of procedure should have been quickly followed, and a transparent, fair and efficient appointment process where different parties are taken into confidence. Those things are evolved. So friends, in this question you had to proceed on these lines. So that's all for today. We'll be meeting again for the next video. So friends, till then, goodbye, and keep posting answers on our portal. Thank you for today.